I'm sure some of those will eventually come along. How are you gentlemen doing? Having a good fanboy experience?
Yes, thank you so much. Hello, everyone.
Your fucking business.
Dude, I just got sworn at by Ron Perlman. My life is complete.
Wait, it's early. You ain't seen nothing yet.
All right, I'm not going to talk much.
Said, let me do all the talking.
Yeah, I told him. I knew what was coming, so get ready. What's up, bud? What do you got?
Some questions, or you guys can just go with that
No,
whatever you want.
no. You ask the questions.
All right,
Why don't we let everybody else
combination.
ask the questions? What are your questions?
Well, one question I got is, when you guys first each saw the pilot, what were your thoughts about it, and did you know that it was going to be more than simply a television show about motorcycles? What did you think the series was really about underneath all the, for lack of a better term, violence?
Hey, do all the talking, see if I can.
It's been said many times before, we'll say it again. At the heart of that show, it's a family drama. It just so happened to be around the time where a lot of shows like The Sopranos and other stuff were coming off of a similar vibe of like dealing with family, but with external factors of violence and all the things that come with it in a subculture world, just like Sopranos is dealing with organized crime. And I thought, if we can get exposure, like anything we talk about, if people can see it, it could be successful. But the truth is, the show wasn't successful truly successful until after that season 2 premiere, when Katie, with the thing happened to her.
See, I completely disagree
You should.
with all of it. But, you know when we went through the roof? We were chugging along. We got kind of screwed for our premiere because Sarah Palin got nominated the night we premiered. And America turned its attention to the new sweetheart from Alaska. She didn't have a season 2, did she? But anyway, we were rolling along, fighting for our life, and then one episode, I castrated a clown and let him bleed out.
Third episode.
And his testicles are on the ground, and our ratings went like this. And we figured out who we were at that point.
His testicles went down and the ratings went up.
Ratings went way up. So we figured out what America was really looking for, and we played it for everything it was worth.
And we've been getting kicked in the nuts ever since.
By the time season 2 premiered, we were already through the roof success. But it started with me castrating a clown.
As most things often do.
You been to my kid's birthday party?
Possibly. Now, the audience had to believe that Sam Crow shared years of history before the first episode ever aired. What did the cast do together to create that sense of brotherhood, hierarchy, and unspoken history?
It's a lot of drinking, Was there anything else? No, basically, that's what we did. We went around everywhere we could and just drank together.
Yeah, different time, different era. We hung out all the time. We were together all the time. We drank all the time.
First season, we were inseparable. Yeah. We went everywhere together. And we all started becoming movie stars. And, hang on, I'm having my hair done. We got in the way of the drinking. But for that first year, we were fucking pure. We were pure as the driven snow, man.
It was also pre-social media, it was a different era it was an era that existed a long time that had shifted after that. But up until the beginning, we got really lucky having that connection the first 2 seasons of all the time.
And when now that we're seeing each other like this, we realize how much we took for granted, how special it was, what we were doing back then was. So now we're kind of trying to, revisit that as much as we can, and just realize how precious we are to each other. And we really, we fell in love with each other immediately. Those scenes in the chapel where we're all around the table, everybody's got their own thing they're smoking. That was it, that was us.
You guys say you went out all the time, drinking, whatever. When did you notice a shift? Like, there had to be a shift at some point where you weren't really, I guess you still could have, but it had to have changed after the castration.
After season 1 aired.
After the castration, we were still really good. We started to we get to be a hit show, and other factors come in, and you know that initial shit turns into other stuff. But we were always fucking totally in love with each other. But funky shit happens, you know. You're on a TV show, somebody's getting a good review, somebody else getting a bad review, and all of a sudden everybody's got their panties in a twist. You know, it's like all this shit that messed with it a little bit. But we found it again. And we're like better than ever now.
But the shift that you're talking about with when did we know it was a hit?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you go through, you know, and I could speak for me, these guys, we walked onto the show and it's all these amazing character actors, and yet there were these certain few that had these incredible legacy careers coming in, Ron and Katie and, you know, other people. Most of us were just, you know, a bunch of character actors, and me being the furthest down the totem pole. And then I noted, you know, I had maybe gotten recognized like twice in my life, and then season 1 aired, and here I am, you know, in Target, but I don't realize that I have a mohawk and like tattoos on my head, and you're watching these people lose their minds, and you go, oh shit, life's changed. And you know, while other people might have been used to that, a lot of us were like, oh fuck, this is different. And then, you know, we're right, and then it's odd we were together, like he was saying, we were together all the time, so we'd go to restaurants and bars, and when we weren't working and we're on motorcycles or pulling up in these like black Cadillacs, and like we'd get out and we'd all be walking in together, and people would be like, are you filming? Like, what the fuck is happening here? Because it's like we're all together looking exactly like we do on the show because we're coming from filming, or it's on the weekend, or so that's when you notice the shift is you can tell there's a reaction that's different. Now, I mean, you know, everybody's somebody with social media. Everybody, like that whole, you know, fame thing is such an odd thing now. Everybody has recognition for something. But at that time, it was still a very different thing.
Talking about your characters for a little bit, Ron Clay could be charming, paternal, and absolutely terrifying, sometimes within the same scene. How did you manage to approach being somebody who believed he was protecting his family and his club, while his decisions sometimes were increasingly damaging both?
It was a bit of a tug of war going on between, I'll just say this flat out, but you know, Kurt saw me as a villain, and I saw me as a guy who would do anything to protect his family. And ruthlessness was part of that DNA, but that wasn't that wasn't who he was. That was just a facet of who he was. But it allowed him to rule the club decisively and make sure in his mind everybody was as safe as they could be and as unbothered by the rest of the world as they could be. So I saw Clay as a hero, even though he did very villainous things.
Theo Juice began as a source of warmth and humor, but his journey became progressively darker and more desperate. How did you hold on to the person audiences originally cared about while taking him into that much heavier territory?
Such is life, isn't it? Such is life. You know, you just kind of like, I think that with him, that's what made it so dark and tragic, was that he was a certain way. So he was truly on this arc of like, oh, this is like a good guy who's trying his best and, you know, really wants to be accepted and really loves the club and really, and then you just watch him make this series of follies and errors that just become so detrimental to him. And I think that's why the audience kind of suffered so much, because it's like, it was really like a slow, really disastrous fall for him. Like, and it just got worse and worse. And I think that's why people felt so bad, almost like watching someone be tortured for years. But you couldn't earn that slow torture without the buildup of this like guy with a sign stapled to his chest who's wearing a diaper and like, you know, doing all that kind of stuff. So I thought Kurt did that extremely well. And He did something really great. Like, he would watch what works with you and what doesn't, and then he would start leaning into it, and sometimes he got it right, and sometimes he didn't, and I think he just got it right with Juice.
Well, those of us, we watched from the outside in, but you guys were living with each other and these characters for years. And, I mean, again, watching, we saw these characters go in directions we didn't think they would be. And I know how writers
we
are.
did too. I mean, we had no control.
That was the question I was going to ask. Did you get a lot of knowledge ahead of time? How much story arc information did you have? And did you have any input?
I mean, the twists and turns of my character were completely out of my control. The only control I had was between action and cut and how I played it. But, you know, the things that my character was asked to do were totally coming from the writer's room. And we would often find out about it when the script came out. We'd read it, oh, okay, this is who I am this week, you know, and you'd have to figure out, you know, how to get there, because that was what you were hired to do.
Yeah, and I think that even if you did have prior knowledge, like, he would speak to you between every season, you don't have any control over it. So you just have to, you take it, digest it, and figure out how it's gonna, you know, work. I remember, you know, very vividly when he called me in between season 3 and 4, and it was the first time I'd ever gotten called in. So I was like, oh man, I'm either dying or I'm actually gonna have something to do. You know, because he called in the people who were gonna have something. And he started telling me all about season 4, you know, the things that were gonna occur, and I was just like, and then he's like, and then you hang yourself, and I was like, oh fuck. I was like, yeah, I guess that's it. And then he was like, no, you're not dead. And I was like, what? And then he's like, and then, you know, and then he was telling me, like, and then you robbed them, and then the club finds out. I'm like, oh, fuck. And I was like, no, but you're still alive. And I was like, oh, fuck. And I'm just thinking, like, but it just got worse. As he was saying it, I remember sitting there being excited that I had stuff to do, but also being like, oh, this is my last season on the show. Like, there's no way I get out of this. And then the torture began. But yeah, it was, so again, you get the information, you just can't, what can you do about it?
You know, it's funny, this is real inside baseball, and I know all you people are like film freaks, so I'll share it. But when you get a script to do a movie, you know what you're going to be doing. You know who you are and what you're there to do. And you shoot that thing. You have complete control over whether you say yes or no, depending on whether you want to play the role and do the things that character is doing or not. When you're on a TV series, you're only saying yes to the first episode. That's all you've been given. You have no control over where they take that character and what that character might be capable of doing that you didn't think he was capable of doing. So it's a real balancing act. And, you know, that's all I'll say. It's a real balancing act.
Yeah, and in that inside baseball thing, it's like, even on the show I'm on now, it's like, then you're playing in a certain way in the early episodes. And if you read something that kind of is counterintuitive to that, you're like, wait, I'm playing this. So TV is just so wildly different. And there has to be this synergy with everyone involved of what's coming and all that, because that's why I like to ask a million questions, because your prior stuff you might be doing might not match what's coming later. And it's just, so it is a balance.
Watching a ball game back there, bro? Watching the ball game. Oh, okay.
I began to wonder too. So, Ryan, you've got experience with costuming and makeup and how that helps you get into character more than a lot of people would. In this instance, how much did the tattoos, the leather, the bikes, the club environment, how much did it change the way you carried yourself, the way you acted? It helped you get into character, stay into character, any of that?
I mean, those were all the signals of every one of those tattoos stood for something. The reason why these guys are tatted up stands for who they are. Everything that they wear, the leathers, the family values, stands for who they are in the world. And so all those things became your roadmap for the kind of sub-society that these biker clubs, every club is its own sovereign nation. You know, it's like, you know, United States, Canada, two sovereign nations. They have their own set of laws. They have their own set of things that, you know, You go outside these lines, you're going into the poker. We have our same thing in clubs. We're a sovereign nation. You come for us, we're going to defend ourselves, and we'll wipe you out if that needs to happen, because we are protecting our values, our turf, our family, etc. And we ain't playing.
Speaking to that, how has that community embraced you guys? Like, I've got to assume you get comments from people within that world. As private as they may be, as much as they may be isolated in separate silos and sovereign nations, what has that reaction been like?
Nothing but love from the beginning. It's been unbelievable. That show has elicited a certain, I think even now, as TV has evolved, for good or bad, I think a lot of these older shows, you know, the Breaking Bads, the Sopranos, the Wires, you know, the Shield, all those shows justified. I mean, people are looking at them with a very different lens now, because it's like, TV has changed so much. And I think even in the case of Sons, whether it be club guys or whether it be whatever, we look back and we're like, wow, we had it really good with TV for a little while. And I'm not saying that it's bad now, it's just different. It's like one season, 8 episodes, 2 years later you get another season. It's like, it's just so disconnected where 6 months we're filming, 6 months we're off. 6 months we're filming, 7 seasons, 8 seasons, whatever people are doing, 13 episodes. You know what you're gonna get. You know in September that show's airing. For us, we knew we're going back to work in June. Like, you just know. And I think that we've always had, I think now, especially now more, people are going back and watching these shows and realizing how different that time was. And by the way, it's not that long ago, it's only 10 years ago. You know, it's just, TV has changed so dramatically. So whether it be bikers, whether it be club guys, whether it be anybody, it's been nothing but love for that show from the beginning. I very rarely have ever heard someone say about Sons, oh yeah, I watched like 1 or 2 and then I just wasn't into it. It's either you haven't watched it or you fucking know everything about it. You could like sketch Jax's ass cheeks in your sleep. You know what I mean? Like, you know everything.
And we made damn sure of that. We were allowed to go on that.
Thank
We
you.
would always, the first thing I would look for when the new script came out is like, when is Charlie's shower scene? Where he never seems to wash his backside. That's always facing the camera. But his front side is squeaky clean. That's what I would look for every time the new script came out. I don't know about you.
Who was genuinely the best motorcycle rider in the cast and who merely looked convincing after the editing?
I don't know, it depends on what scene and what day. I mean, Boone was probably always the best rider.
Well, Boone had been that was his #1 mode of transportation for the last 30 years. Kim was a really good rider coming into the show. The rest of us had to learn. Charlie took to it really, really strong. I mean, Charlie, while we were doing the show, his Harley was his #1 mode of transportation wherever he went. And I'm not sure that's still the case, but he took to it really, really hard.
Probably Bobby Elvis.
Now, the show could be like brutally serious at one moment and then suddenly extremely funny. Who was most likely, I think I know the answer to this already, who was most likely to break the tension on the set or to destroy an intense scene by making everyone laugh? Or did that never happen?
We all had our moments. I mean, you know, he was probably the real clown of the groups. Like, you know, like everybody, like, he wore his heart on his sleeve, so everybody was always fucking with him. You know, that whole diaper thing. You know, that was like, yeah, let's just fuck with Juice a little bit.
Yeah, I was kind of relentless to people. I don't really let up. Like I find I had some of, you know, even the more intense it got, the more I felt the need to go, like, just try to have as much fun as possible on set. I got a real kick personally out of, I get a real kick out of the ones who made me laugh. I just got a kick out of maybe because I gave them the most shit and they could take it. I used to give Unser a lot of shit. And I give Tig a lot of shit. So I kind of, those were, easy target. But you know, for us, people always ask, like when the scenes are like really, really heavy and dark, that's usually when you're keeping it the lightest because you really don't have another choice, you have to. And the light stuff, you know, we had a lot of it early in the beginning seasons, and then the show got really dark. After Opie died, things got really dark. Yeah.
You guys genuinely seem like good friends, and I'm sure the entire cast, based on what you're telling us, gets close. Anytime good friends get together, 3 or 4 beers in, 2 or 3 shots in, stories come up, they relive constantly over and over. Do you guys have anything in your mind, those stories that you share only amongst yourselves, that you might want to share with us?
Absolutely not.
Is anyone surprised?
Not looking to go to jail anytime soon. No.
You guys go get your own fucking stories.
No, we truly did. You know, I tell people it all the time. We truly just loved each other. We still do love each other. We have so much. It's just a different time, you know. And when you're in it, you don't know it. Like life, right? You don't know it when you're in it. But man, when we were in that, even now looking back on it, doing a lot of shows since, doing whatever, it was just such to watch the rise of a show like that, to be with a group of people, to genuinely love each other, to, you know, we would go to, I've told this story before, we'd go to like Emmy events or award events or whatever they were, and there'd be every other show there, and then we'd walk in, and it was like the record would scratch, because we'd come in together, and it would be like 10 or 11 of us, with Katie and Maggie, with all of us, and it was just like, people, especially in our industry, I say that industry, they didn't know how to react. They're just like, because it felt different when we were there. Which I'm sure the Soprano guys felt on their thing when they were in, you know, earlier, and maybe other, but something with the Sons was different.
You mentioned that it's been like only 10 years, and you alluded to the fact that time just seems to move faster. In only 10 years, the world has changed considerably. If the show was released today, do you think it would have gone through the same arc, the same way? What do you think would be different?
It couldn't go the same way. They don't do 13 episodes, 7 years, coming out the exact same time, you know.
Just playing 1 episode a week.
Yeah, it just doesn't, they're getting...
You had to wait the whole week back in the day to see the next episode. And, you know, now everything is binging. I mean, you know, binging... Every time I've binged, I end up throwing up. So that's what I associate the entire new landscape of how we get our entertainment as. This whole idea of binging is just nothing but vomit to me. It's like, make a fucking show an episode, have them wait a week before they see the next one. That'll tell you how badly they want to watch that show. If they wait a week and then they tune in again, but if you give them the whole 13, 15, 25 episodes in one night, and they're done in 2 days, the next thing they're gonna go is, it's like diabetes. It's gonna be like a insulin spike, and then they're looking for more sugar. Nothing sustains in this current marketplace we're in right now. And it's just, you know, we're all getting fucked because streaming sucks, man. Binging is vomit.
Yeah, and you know, on a personal
I'm
level,
not done yet, bro. I had a few more things to say about vomit.
is, you know, and this is just, well, I don't know how everybody else feels, but like I don't remember it. I'm not retaining it. So we would go do a show, and then between it, you'd do like an article in Entertainment Weekly. What's going to happen with Clay? Oh my God, what's going on? And then the audience would read about it, and then you build up a little bit of the hype, and you would remember things. It's very hard now because we're watching it so fast, and I know, again, only from personal experience, I'm not digesting it. So when I meet someone and they go, oh, I go, what have you been working on? They go, I was in this show. I'm like, oh, I watched that show. And I'm like, wait, were you in that? Oh, I think. And I don't know if they were in 1 episode or 8. I don't know anything about it because I watched it in 2 days on a plane. I don't remember it. So it's just, again, it's like Ron was saying, it's not digestible in the same way. It's not satiating, it's not staying with you. And now, they're coming back to it. When I did Penguin, it was once a week. It came out once a week. I just read today, and this is, I mean, they're having a ball with it on the internet, where a lot of the streamers want to associate with doing channels that play content all day. Yeah, it's called fucking television. We used to have it. That's what they said today. They're like, they're going to experiment with putting channels on their streamers that have content on all day. Someone said, hey, maybe you'll do one that's music videos 24/7. Maybe you'll do one that's sports 24/7. Yeah, we fucking had them. So now we're going
And nobody was paying for any of them. And now, you know, even though you're giving these motherfuckers $22.99 a month for just one of them, and there happens to be 16 of them that you need to have in order to watch all the things that are coming on. Now they're putting on commercials too, because they can't make ends meet with just the subscription price. So they've gone back to what used to pay for all of your ability to turn on the TV and watch 24/7 content with commercials. They've gone back to that, plus they're fucking shoving up your ass for $22.99.
It's the biggest shell game that's ever happened in history.
And we're sitting here taking it.
We got fucked, guys. I'm gonna tell you. We got fucked.
We're sitting here taking it.
Do you hear house phones?
It's our fault.
That's the new thing. They're bringing house phones back now. One phone that you can call the house.
What are you doing? Time to rise up, people.
I'm so screwed. I don't know what the hell to say. I did everything so neatly, 1 through 20. I don't know what the hell I was thinking.
Go to the audience. Go to the audience.
Go to the audience, a great idea. You guys got questions? Let's see some hands up.
Okay, you pick him.
56 years and he's still working.
Come on.
Who wanted it? Okay, let's start up here.
Hey guys, huge fans, obviously Hellboy right here. I mean, Theo, awesome man. After Sons of Anarchy, you went to Luke Cage. Great new dynamic too, different role, you know, different style all in general. Obviously all the respect in the world. Huge question, the end there for Jews. What was it like when Marilyn Manson was like standing behind you, reading the end of that version?
Crazy.
The last show.
He was sweating, his hair dye kept, all I remember is his hair dye kept hitting me in the face. And I just saw like black out of the corner of my eye. I was like, this guy's on top of me. He's quite heavy. And he has black dye all over me. Oh, you're not talking about that scene. You're talking about when he killed me.
Yes.
I'm only thinking about that scene. That I'm still reliving in my nightmares. I don't know, I can't eat pie anymore. That's all I know. Just have a aversion to it. But yeah, it was cool.
Try to move around a little bit. So if you're in the back, I promise I'll see you.
Raise your hand high.
Mr. Perlman, I've been a huge fan since Beauty and the Beast, and I've always noticed you are such a great actor because you always bring authenticity, this strength of character to all of your characters, whether you're voice acting. What has made you choose the roles that you've chosen? Because they've always been very strong characters, whether you're in heavy makeup, no makeup, voice acting. What has really clued you into really wanting to play those roles?
That's a great question. I mean, I just am the recipient of I have played so many incredibly mind-blowing, cool characters.
Yes.
And I don't know how they ended up with me. But when I know it when I see it. And the minute I see it, I say, oh, I'm playing this. And I don't give a shit if it's a video game or a voiceover on a cartoon or 6 months on a movie. Like as long as I really dig getting an example of a piece of humanity. Because I'm obsessed with humanity. I'm obsessed with every facet of what makes people do the things they do and how outrageously, like, the range of what's capable of the human condition, from everything from love to complete evil. And for me, as somebody who, that's my job, I get to be introduced to a kind of humanity in this movie or script, and go, oh, I'm going to walk in his shoes for a while, and I'm going to portray him. And that's a fun time for me. I'm like, it really is like the same way people get off on doing crossword puzzles or, or whatever you do, like, to float your boat. I could just act all the time, you know, and I don't give a shit. That's why everybody's, well, what is it? Is it cartoon? Is it video game? No, it's just acting. It's just being able to look at a piece of humanity and walk in those shoes for a while. It's very kind of, it's like a release. It's like a challenge and a release at the same time.
Another question?
So supposedly you are great friends in real life.
You believe that shit?
I did.
Where the fuck did you read that?
I said supposedly.
Cancel that subscription.
That's one you can cancel.
Was it hard going from one dynamic to another because you're great friends in real life, but then you all had really intense scenes like when you stole the cocaine and then poor Miles
They loved
got
each other on
killed,
screen.
then Clay manipulated him. So after those scenes, did y'all just go up and hug or?
No, it was
Was it
always
hard?
like Ron and Theo playing those things, you know, it's like, what are they giving us to play this week? You know, that wasn't what defined our relationship. Our relationship was Ron and Theo. But you could say Theo and Ron, but I would never, never say Ron and Theo.
No, I mean alphabetical order.
But, yeah, that's true. So it didn't really fucking matter what the scene was or what we were playing, that's just the gig, right? But, you know, it's like what happens in between, and, you know, I watched Theo, you know, go through 78 girlfriends and then find one and get married, and I watched a couple of kids come out. I mean, I've been part of his life for...
We actually watched them come out. That's how close we are. He was there.
I had to catch his mitt.
Sir, I forgot the name of the film, but it was a French sci-fi movie you were in. You were helping a little girl find her brother. Can you just, that's fine.
You were asking the wrong fucking person.
I was fucking...
French sci-fi movie that you were saving a little girl.
Are we talking about City of Lost Children?
Yeah, that's
Yeah. What about it?
What was your memories about? What's your story about?
Yeah, that was a trippy movie, man. It was all in French. You know, I was the only American. I was the only non-Frenchman in that whole company. The crew, the cast, you name it. And they wanted somebody who was like a fish out of water character, like a country bumpkin in this decaying world of cynicism and pickpockets, and everybody's ripping everybody off. They wanted this kind of like stupid guy to come in. So my character was like I was a Russian, I was a whaler, a guy who caught whales from Belarus. So I spoke French in the movie, but with a Russian accent. And they wanted somebody that was non-Frenchman. And so that was a pretty cool gig.
Charlie Hunnam once said in an interview that somebody broke into his property and he said he went full Jax Taylor on him and he ran at him with a knife. Have you ever been in a situation where you're like, I'm gonna go full Clay or full Juice on someone?
Well, what Charlie forgot to mention was that was me. I thought I was full Clay at the time.
I don't want to go full juice on anybody, but I don't really know what it means.
Anybody in the back? Come on, you need this, well, let's give it a shot. Pat that back.
So I had a question about the trilogy of Hellboy. I love that, man. We gotta get that happening. I know the fans want it.
We only did 2 out of the 3, and I always consider that to be a bit of a crime against humanity. But you know, I don't have a final say on whether the 3rd one gets done or not.
Have you had any talks about it, or?
But I think about it too much, bro. I wish I could fucking stop everybody.
Yeah.
It would have been a great movie.
One
It
more
would have
thing.
been maybe the greatest comic book movie ever because it had elements of like the gods, the oracles, you know, everything that Greek theater was based on, everything that Shakespeare was based on, was going to come out in the third installation of this thing. The whole argument between nature versus nurture, between good and evil, between which one, I mean, every single thing that was introduced in the first two movies was meant to play, including the fact that second movie she's pregnant with twins. Which one is going to look like him? Which one's going to look like her? That movie would have been fucking epic. And, you know, I feel like it was a fucking crime that we didn't do it.
This is one of my favorite quotes from your recent movie, Don't Look Up. Let's slap this motherfucking firecracker.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you.
Go.
Hi, Ron. I'm such a big fan of your voice work, especially Slade. He's one of my favorite cartoon villains of all time and everything. And I know you lend your voice in a lot of stuff like in Fallout and other stuff in narration, especially for 1,000 Ways of Dying. What is your favorite way to die on the show?
Let's see. I've had my own arm ripped off and beaten over the head with it. That was one way I died. No, I don't know. I don't have a favorite. I've done some interesting ones.
Sir, I was wondering, Sir, I was wondering about Ice Pirates.
Me too.
I love that movie.
I was wondering about that too. Why?
Was it fun making that movie?
Oh yeah. Yeah, the cast was great. I bonded with Robert Urich and I became really good friends. Angelica Houston was in there. Yeah, I had a great time.
Me and my friends had a theater down the street. I probably saw that movie in one weekend 6 times.
You were the one. I think we only sold 6 tickets.
Well, gentlemen, I've got to say on behalf of everybody, we cannot thank you guys enough.
Thank you guys.
Sharing time with us, being here, pleasure. Let's hear it. Make sure to stop by tables for Theo. Ron, when are you finishing up or done? Just here today. But Theo will be downstairs. Make sure to support him, check him out, go say hi, get some pictures. Guys, thank you again.